guys, hopefully you guys have had enough practice creating files, deleting files, copying files, all the stuff that we talked about in the previous chapter. And you got a good grip on the file structure that we deal with. Because like this is going to jump in difficulty quite a bit. So if you haven't practiced, this might or might not get confusing depending on how smart you are. Like I'm not, so I had to practice for 3 days on the first chapter before I could move here. All right, so the first thing we're going to add is a switch called L. So when you do this, there are a couple of things that are of importance to us right now. There are multiple columns. So first column, second column, third column, fourth column, fifth, and this is actually a whole sixth and the seventh. So seventh column is your file name. Sixth column is the date when it was created. Fifth column is the size in bytes. Okay, now this is group owner, and with both of these the same, it can cause confusion, so just ignore this for now. Okay, and then the third column is the owner of the file. Okay, and then we are looking at the access rights for this file. Okay, so now I'm going to change things a little bit and come back here. Okay, so the thing that I was going to do here now is I was going to create some more users. So the commands to do that, who am I is going to tell me what is my username. Okay, then a new command that we can use is ID, and what ID gives you is your user ID, which is basically a number that the machine refers you by. Like it's not going to refer to me as Johnny Azad, it's going to refer to me as user ID 1000, just like prisoners. Okay, now the next thing is group ID, and which is basically the prison building that you belong to. So GID, the group is the building, and you can be part of multiple prison departments, so that is groups, and there could be a bunch of other groups, right? Okay, so this is a little confusing example. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a group. So group add. Okay guys, so now there are some destructive commands that you can execute. And there are normal commands that you can execute. So when you say ls minus l, this is a non-destructive command. Okay, but if you have to execute commands that can destroy the machine or basically can make bigger changes, Linux controls that by having you to provide a word before a command like group add, and that word is sudo. Basically you're saying I need higher privileges to execute this command, and I think I know what I'm doing. Okay, so now we created a group called Manny's group. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a user, and creating that user is user add minus m. Minus m is the switch. If you don't add that switch, the user gets created, but it doesn't have a home folder created. So here it will create a home folder, and let's call him Donnie. All right, so we have created a user called Donnie, and now we are going to add Donnie to Manny's group. And the command to do that is just as intuitive user mod minus G Manny's group, and it didn't like that. Oh, I gotta provide the username. So user mod Donny, and it changed its username. All right, I'm gonna clear this. I'll just keep it here so you guys can also see uh, how things can go wrong and how to fix them. Usually it just shows up like what exactly you need to do. Don't worry about too much right now. And then we're gonna clear. So we have created a user called Donnie in the group Manny.